Hey there, everybody. Just doing a recap of the leaders meeting we had last week. Turns out the audio just wasn't really good and a couple people couldn't hear. So what I'm going to do is go through what we went through in the meeting, what was discussed and agreed on pretty quickly. If you have any questions, please reach out to myself or Holly, get you up to speed on some of these things. So here's what we've got so far. The biggest thing right now is we have two other PACs who are going to be merging with us. PAC 628, or I'm sorry, 628 and 692. Keep getting his numbers messed up. One is out of Keith Elementary, the other one out of English Estates Elementary School. Their numbers have decreased to a point where they just don't have the leadership structure in the organization in place to help them grow again. So they're going to merge with us. At least for the foreseeable future. And hopefully, we get a good recruitment up, the numbers come back up this year, but it'll still be about a year or two before they're at a point where they can split off and have, their own PACs again. So that's kind of the big thing. It's going to affect a lot of different things moving forward this year. Overall, we've seen across all Central Florida, the membership is down about 45%. The pandemic really did a number on us. However, the 65% that stayed around are a strong PAC. So, and we're pretty fortunate we have a pretty good structure. We're one of the fortunate ones where our numbers really didn't drop too much compared to some others, obviously. So we're actually in a very good position to help everybody else out. So really going to need some help helping everybody else out. So far, we've actually already merged a couple of the scouts in, and we've gotten some new ones in too. So we're doing pretty good. And I think, with recruitment coming up end of August into September, that's even going to get better. So that being said, recruitment, we're not just doing Sterling Park this year. We will be doing Sterling Park, Castleberry Elementary, English Estates, and Keith Elementary, possibly another. We've got a pretty large area now, which means when we get through recruitment, there's a good chance our numbers are going to really swell. Some of these dens may get pretty big right off the bat. Shannon's already at, I think, 8 or 9 in her den. So if that number swells, we're going to have to split that off into 2 dens. So be thinking and looking at your parents that have been around for a while to be a den leader. We'll work through it. We don't want to scare anybody off, but just let it be known that we're going to need that extra help if that happens. As far as going into the schools to do our usual recruiting, we're going to need help with those dates. I don't have all the dates in front of me right now because a lot of that's still up in the air. I know Keith Elementary is not until September 8th, I think, right now. The other ones we don't have a solid date for. And it's going to be up to the principals again, whether or not we can actually go into the classrooms. That's still up to them, or even be on campus to do the recruitment night where we sign parents up that night. For those dates that we're going in, and Keith is one of them, we're going to need some extra help. So I want to be asking a couple, for a volunteer. I need about 2 or 3 parents to help organize the paperwork that everybody's got to sign, get materials distributed, and then work on an activity with the kids outside while we talk to just the parents about the scouting experience. So please keep that in the back of your mind. I'm going to need some help with that one. Okay, all that going forward. Finances, we did agree at the meeting, we are going to raise our dues to $175 for the year. That is $123 per scout that is going directly to council and national. Nothing we can do about that one. The other 52 is going to stay with the PAC and help cover our expenses, some of the activities, as well as parent registrations, so leader registrations. If you're not aware, all adults that register, there is I think it's a $70 fee that we have to pay to council and national for everything. Much like most other units out there, we don't actually ask the parents to pay that. We actually take that out of our own funds. So that extra money is going to help cover all the adults. And with the way the new system is put up, all the adults need to be registered that are active in the unit. So all of our den leaders and things like that. So that has changed things a little bit. To help with that, we are going to be doing monthly payments. and being able to break that out. Now that's going to all get handled on the website side, which is under construction right now. I'm hoping that, in about a month, that'll be live and we can, present that to the existing parents. Hey, you can do your monthly payments this way now. A lot of details in there to work out, but we are going to figure that one out. So that is coming. Fundraising, again, to help cover those expenses. Some of these will help because we have to actually pay all of those dues in November, regardless if they're on a monthly payment plan or not. So everybody should have gotten a popcorn flyer by now that was sent out to all the registered scouts. And a couple families already start selling, and that's great. As a pack, we're only going to be buying one case of caramel popcorn. It was always the hot seller. It's 10 or 15 bags. We're going to sell those pretty quick to say we've participated. But we're not going to do any show and sells. We're not going to do any wagon sales, anything like that, unless a parent wants to do that. One of you parents out there actually want to go do these things. Keep in mind, all the popcorn we use for that, we have to pre-purchase. So to help alleviate that, use the flyers in the app, which from what I understand is undergone another change. And you'll be able to sell that popcorn and it gets delivered right to the customer. And that's kind of what we want for anything like that. So that's going on. We're not going to push that one this year again. Our big one that we are going to try and push is the wreaths. We did really well last year. I think it was a big success. Heard a lot of great things about it. We started late, but this year we've got everything in place, so we can do that again. So that's coming up. Wayne is going to take that over again and get us some more information in the future. So keep that in the back of your heads. That's coming up too. The other one that we are working on is beef sticks. That's these guys here. I did get a sample thing. I was kind of hoping to share it with somebody, but I forgot to bring it to the meeting to taste test it. So anyway, we'll be doing beef sticks at some point. The other packs I've talked to that have done this, and I've found it very successful. This is something that just kind of continues year round. There's no big push for it. There's no goals. It's just there, and we can sell it to, retail stores, offices, things of that nature. They usually buy a whole box at cost, and the pack actually gets, I think it's 52% of the sale. That's actually the best percentage we get out of any fundraiser. And we can just have those in stock and sell those at will. We'll get more information coming up on that. Leadership-wise, shout out to Maggie Burnaby, who stepped up to be our Wolf Den leader this year. Thank you very much. A lot of good things going on with that. For everybody else out there, keep your eyes open for other active parents. We're not going to be in the pack forever. Some of us will be here for another, 4 or 5 years. But be looking for that extra help, that extra person to step as a den leader, as a treasurer, as a committee chair, as a fundraising chair, as a cub master, whatever. Because that what we don't want to do is have the leaders leave the pack and have nobody in there to kind of take that over. So keep that in the back of your heads. And to that extent, please be looking out. I'd like a recommendation for an assistant cub master. Somebody that can, help guide the pack and, active with the roundtables and can get all this information to you. There's going to be just times I'm not going to be able to be at the meetings all the time. There's a lot actually going on, so I'm going to need some extra help, and it'll help, maybe train somebody else to take it over at some point, take an edge off a little bit. As far as the training and things like that goes, really would encourage everybody to get to at least a couple of roundtable meetings this year. We have those on the third Thursday of every month. There's a lot of good information there. And this year, we'll actually have a breakout session just for den leaders, where you can share your best practices with other dens or other packs and vice versa. I do highly recommend that you get to at least a couple this year. Again, third Thursdays every month. We've got another one coming up later this month. And if we're using that Scout Book planning program where you actually lay out the whole calendar, and Scout Book actually puts in the activities for you in a certain order. If you follow that plan, a lot of other packs are doing the same thing. You go to these meetings, you can actually talk about the activities you're working on for that month together. So whether it's rocketry, an outdoor thing, camping, or not camping, hiking, something like that. You get actually a lot of good best practices from other people. So keep that in the back of your mind. I'll actually be can help out with the scout book thing. I'm hoping to do a training video a little later to help guide you guys through that one. Activities, we have a whole list of activities for the rest of the year. There is a temporary calendar out there. Take a look at it. We do need somebody to be the chair of some of these events. And it doesn't have to be the person that's going to do all the activities. It's the person that's going to help coordinate everybody else doing all the work. So somebody else in your den, keep that out there. We do need that extra help. So we can share those responsibilities around, and keep your parents engaged. This shouldn't be just the den leader working with just the scouts. The parents should be involved with all of the activities the scouts are doing until they get into Webelos. So Jen, you're pretty much leading them for this year, but letting them choose their path as it goes. And when they get into Arrows, they should be helping with the planning and working on things a little more independently, so that when they do get up in the scouts, they're doing everything on their own. They're running the meetings themselves at that point. Parents and den leaders are not very involved at that point. Okay, our next PAC meeting is August 30th. This is going to be our big back to PAC celebration. It's going to be Hawaiian luau themed. So we'll be looking for some good ideas and some creative ideas for that. So we'll be planning that as the month goes on. We'll be doing a big thing outside. In the meantime, we've got 2 den meetings scheduled. Now, these don't have to be official den meetings where you're doing electives, things like that. What I would encourage is, at this point, work on doing activities that just get the kids back together, talking together, and welcoming in the new scouts that we have, who might be a little unsure because they're coming from a different school. So we have 2 weeks of that. I do have some building activities from Home Depot that we can use for one of those. Once we get through the recruitment, what we're going to be doing is we have a orientation night for just the parents. We've got some help from the troops coming over that will help run some activities outside for the kids, while inside we can actually do a one-on-one or a group activity with the parents, what the expectations are, what our PAC is really about, and answer as many questions as we can. Also want to be encouraging everybody to be in uniform every week. This is something that the kids should be proud to wear. We were talking with the principals about allowing the kids to wear them at school as well, and those den meeting or PAC meeting days. Other than that, recharter's coming up. Holly's going to be taking that one over. It's a little bit of a different process. We're still hoping that everything goes digital this year, so we don't have to worry about collecting paper from everybody. But just, again, keep that one in the back of your mind. And as far as that, that's all I've got for right now. Our next leader meeting will be August 20th. We'll probably do that one at the church as well. The next roundtable is the 19th. That's kind of why we plan it that way. We do a roundtable where we get a lot of good information. We can share it with all the rest of the leadership on the 20th. So keep that schedule open for you for the 19th, 20th later this month. And we will see you guys then. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a great day.